thank the AMG board members that helped put together this event. Anna Rodriguez, Jennifer Sakai, and the point person, Alex Van Bozen, who spent a lot of time working on this and gathering all the speakers and getting this together for you. Biographies on today's speaker on the back table, and so I'm not going to repeat in the introductions the biographies that you can read for yourself. There's a lot of really good information. I do encourage you to read those and get to know who the speakers are a little better. But I do want to give you a little bit of insights into some of the speakers that are here today. The first two are Lori Firestone Steidelman and Julia Sanchez. And I've been very fortunate to have worked with both these speakers before. With Lori, we both worked at UCLA Extension for a time. And she, at the time, was working for the Pathways program, which provides an opportunity for disabled young adults to experience college environment, and for many of them, their first opportunity for independent living. And one of the things about Lori is when you used to talk to her about the program, you could hear the passion she had for the program and her desire to do whatever needed to be done, talk to whoever needed to be done, in order to make the program as good as possible and to provide the most benefit for the participants that she could. And it was really apparent whenever she was discussing the program. We were also in the PDP together in the same cohort, and when we would sit around after the program was over, we did a couple of information sessions at UCLA Extension to promote the program with other people that might be interested. And when we were talking about the program, you heard the same passion in her voice when she was talking about the program to people, because that's what drives her. And so now when she's director of the SCP and working on training programs, you hear the same thing when she's talking about the people in her program and what she can do to help them with their careers and to benefit along the way. And it's this passion that drives her, and it's this passion that helps her produce such great events. And so you might benefit a little bit from that when she comes up to speak. Board, particularly the year that she was the chair of the board. We worked on several events together and had the opportunity to speak together on a couple of panels. And Julia also has that passion, but it shows up in a different way. Julia has a very natural, comfortable way of working with people. It puts people at ease. So when you are working with her, it seems like you're sitting around a table collaborating with a friend. You're not working on a project. It's not work. It's just sitting around talking to people you know and people who are friends. The same thing when you're networking. When you need to go out and reach out to get some people to speak at the event, you're not networking. You're just talking to friends. You're asking them to help out on a project. And it creates a real comfortable atmosphere where you get great responses from people because they feel the same way. It's like, you know what? This person is a friend of mine and they asked me to help out, so I'm going to be there. And I think that you really get great responses from people when you have that kind of feel. So when they called upon Julia to take care of the professional development program, I knew they had the right person, because she's someone that everybody that goes through the program is going to gain another friend and someone that's going to look out for them throughout their careers and be there to support them throughout their careers. And you can't ask for more than that. So our first two speakers bring a lot to the table. And the next group is just amazing. When I saw the list that they had put together for the senior leadership here at UCLA to speak with you in the breakout sessions, I was like, wow, this is great. I want to go to every one of those. I want to talk to these people some more. These are all really wonderful leaders here at UCLA. And it's really an amazing group. Rose, probably the person on the panel that I've worked with the least amount personally, but she's been here at UCLA for 35 years, and so fortunately for me in doing the introductions, her reputation precedes her, and I have some material anyway. She was president of Staff Assembly. She was in the first cohort of the Professional Development Program. And she was the 2009 winner of the AMG Excel Award for Excellence in Leadership and Management. And that I do know a little bit about because I've been on the selection committee for that award. And it's a very difficult award to win because you have a lot of really wonderful people nominated. Last year we had 12 nominees, and all of them were deserving, and they all got some recognition and a certificate because of the fact that it is such a great group of people. These are people that are nominated by their own staffs and peers, people that they're working with who said, God, I love working with this person because they're such a great person to work with. And that's an amazing compliment. And so I know for her to have won the award, that there had to be some little things in there that separated her, that made her stand out amongst a group of already great nominees. So she's one of our breakout speakers. And I've had the fortune of being able to hear her speak in our PDP group. She spoke on risk management. And then we spoke together on a panel for the staff enrichment program. And she spoke just about a month ago to our book club, which I mentioned previously, on the management book. And then she did recently, she helped facilitate a roundtable discussion on anger management. So she's been doing a lot of presentations. I know she said that she feels like she's been overexposed a little bit even. But what it says to me is people recognize her excellence. They recognize her knowledge and her expertise, and they want her to be there to speak for their groups. And I think that says an awful lot. The fact that she then takes the time and wants to share her expertise with staff and give them back some of the things that she knows about HR and about management and the passion that she has for it, I think says even more about it. And I think that's one of the reasons why we love to have her here speaking to you, and one of the reasons why it's going to be another one of the great breakout sessions for you to attend. Is Jacqueline Reynolds, and she was on a panel that I put together for AMG previously on volunteering and the benefits of volunteering on your career here at UCLA. And Jackie was also one of the nominees, one of the 12 nominees for the Excel Award last year. And she wasn't one of the winners, but this kind of lets you know what a fine line it is and how close it is, because if you listen to some of the things that people had to say about Jackie, it's very similar to what was said about the winners in the blueprints that were published in the AMG Fall newsletter about how they had successful careers. The difference is very, very small. Here's some of the things that people had to say about Jackie. Jackie sought after for advice and leadership by staff across campus. She was instrumental in the formation and success of many IT-related work groups and projects throughout her career here at UCLA. She brings a work ethic, a dedication, and a commitment to UCLA that's unparalleled in everything that she does. Wow. I want to talk to her some more. I mean, that's really a great compliment to hear, especially when these are people that she's working with and the people that are working for her. Dave Miller is the next person on my list, and Dave is a groundbreaker. I mean, he does a lot of things here and has really given back a lot to the community at UCLA. He's been president of Staff Assembly. He's been president of the UC Statewide Council of Staff Assemblies. He was the first staff representative to the UC Regents, and he was awarded the President's Award for Excellence in Service to the University by Staff Assembly. These help demonstrate how committed Dave is, but I think it really does go beyond that. When he was one of my informational interviews when I was in the PDP program, and the next year my buddy had Dave as a mentor, and we got a chance to meet several more times when I was in Extension. And then I got the job over in academic planning and budget, and now we're in the same suite. So every time I walk by Dave's office, when Kathy O'Sullivan came from UCLP to visit with people here at UCLA, one of the very first stops she made was in Dave's office. She must have spent an hour talking to Dave right off the bat. That was one of the first things that she did. when Kevin Smith, the current UC region representative for staff, is going to go to a region's meeting or comes back from one, he's always in talking to Dave to debrief and talk to him about what happened and to talk about things that he thinks are important. But it's not just the people at that level that are talking to him. Everybody in the office, in my suite, at one point or another, goes in and sits down in Dave's office and vents or talks through a problem or an issue or just sits down to talk. For the simple reason that when you leave Dave's office, you feel better than when you walked into Dave's office. And so another great person to be able to spend some time with and for you to meet today. We have Keith, finally but not least, Keith Parker. And I've had the opportunity to hear him speak a number of times. He spoke to our PDP group on networking. The next year, he was a part of a panel that spoke to the next year's PDP group, and the alumni were invited to come back, and so I got a chance to hear him again. And then when President Obama got elected the first time, he did a talk on historic significance and what kind of repercussions this might have on society. And I went to see him speak about that. And I understand that this year he gave another great talk to the PDP group on his career here at UCLA and the path that he's taken while he's been here. One of the things that I learned about listening to Keith speak is when I first listened to him, he was very organized, it was very easy to follow his points, he made good comments, so he was an interesting speaker from that standpoint. But then the next step was he really knows the material. He's very comfortable talking, and so he's able to take that and build a rapport with the audience. And not all speakers are quite as good at doing that. But Dave not only knows the material, but he's very comfortable engaging people. So I think that's another real strong point. But what really separates Dave from the typical... Keith, I'm sorry.
Dave is my brother.
Yeah. See, I got all twisted up. Keith, from the typical speaker, is when you listen to him talk, there's always some point in the presentation where he says something that's thought-provoking, that makes you contemplate a little bit further and think beyond about what he was saying and really get engaged yourself on what really are the applications of that, what are the implications of that. And I think that's a little bit more unusual, even in a really good speaker, and I think that's something that Keith brings to the table that you guys are really going to enjoy. So this is an amazing group, amazing breakout sessions. These are all people you're going to want to talk to and be able to listen to. And if you don't hear them this time, come to the book club and listen to Keith then. Come to one of the future events, because these are all people that you're going to get a chance to hear more often, and they're all people you're going to want to get a chance to hear more often. So